Hi, welcome back to another TerranScapes video. In this video I wanted to give you an overview of the buttes that I completed for the large desert terrain modular board set that I completed recently. And if you are new to the channel, welcome. And there is a video a few back from this or on the web store at TerranScapes.com that will show the entire set laid out as a single piece so you can get a sense of all the pieces that are included in it. But before I get too repetitious, these buttes have been painted obviously to match that, but there aren't too many changes from previous butte sets that I've done. But of course, if you're new to the channel or you're new to the store, it's probably easier to just see them here. So let's take a closer look and I'll show you some of the details. So this is a quick overview of the butte set. There are 5 individual pieces within the set, and they have been carved for the mold process to look within the style of the Mesas, which I've shown previously, but they do have a slightly different flavor. One of the nice things about them is they're quite large. The largest piece here is, oh gosh, I can't remember. I want to say 7 inches tall, let's say, by 6. And of course they vary in their height and their size, but they provide a nice line of sight blocking on the table, as well as affecting movement around on the table. So I think they're probably the most utilitarian pieces I've created to date, and of course fit within a wide variety of gaming systems and can be finished to a wide variety of styles. Now, in painting these for the desert set, I felt like it was a bit of a challenge. The edges aren't quite as sharp as the cuts in the Mesa and the small Mesa and the large Mesa. So, you know, picking out the ridges cleanly, a bit more of a challenge, but I did want to strike those pretty brightly to give it a bit of a contrast. And much as I had done with the Mesa, I've gone in and shaded this and brought it down a bit darker to give it a little more of a contrast, a little bit more pop on the table. It's a subtle shift, but I think it's pretty effective and adds a lot to the overall look. If you're new to these pieces, these are resin cast shells backed by an expanding foam, so it's quite a durable piece, and it's you know, pretty lightweight for travel and shipping, and you know, gives me a chance to reproduce these over time, as they've been fairly popular actually. Around the bottoms of here, what I've done is put in just a scattering of vegetation, mostly the buffalo grass, and then just a couple pieces of some of the other vegetation that's present around on the board, really trying to keep it pretty marginal, as if you take a look at the Mesa boards, you know, there really isn't a lot of vegetation on their talus slopes, and I wanted to kind of carry that theme onto these pieces as well. Originally I was thinking about not putting any vegetation on them at all, and then I realized I think they just look a little bare, and by adding a couple spots here and there on the base, when they're on the table as a whole, it helps to blend some of those open areas by giving it just a little bit of vegetation on it. So this gives you an idea of how the the buttes, I have too many landforms, how the buttes came out, some of the thoughts that went into their design. And just before we wrap up, I wanted to show the large Mesa. So this is the large sort of freestanding Mesa that I also make. It's manufactured the same way. Manufactured, it sounds a little formal, but in any case, it's cast the same way as the buttes are. So it's a resin shell backed by expanding foam. One of the things that I've been working on is to clean this up a little bit. Now, this is a bit of an older mold, and in the past there's been a fairly noticeable seam along the edge here, along the middle part of the Mesa, butte, whatever, profile. And that's because when I originally constructed it, it was 2 parts, 2 pieces of foam to get this vertical height, and when you carve it, the glue seam kind of leaves a little bit of a ridge. So I haven't replaced the mold yet, as it's still functioning, and I'm loath to replace molds until they're totally you know, done with their life. But what I've been doing is I went in and just really made an effort. You can see a couple remnants here and there of some of those lines. You know me, I always try try to be honest with my products and show you the pros as well as the defects when they're present. But I went in and did I think a very good job of cleaning up that seam, and that's sort of a new, I don't know, step, if you will, in the completion of this. If people want to purchase this unfinished, they should expect to do a little bit of cleanup along this edge. And what I did is I just used a X-Acto blade and just shaved it off. Actually, it was much quicker. I thought I'd have to, get in there with a little bit of sandpaper, and in the end, just a quick knife to just scrape off those bits actually did a fairly good job and wasn't too long to do. So, painted, of course, in the same manner as the buttes that I just showed you, and adorned similarly with just a scattering of vegetation around the base. So that gives you a quick look at the large freestanding Mesa. So that gives you a look at the Mesa and the buttes. Not shown in this video, not included in this set, of course, would be the large arch. So if you're interested in seeing that piece, which is in a similar design, you can see it as an alternate listing on the TerranScapes web store at TerranScapes.com. So thank you once again for joining me. Keep your eye on the channel for the next video in this series. And if you are interested in seeing the board layout, this is the next day. New shirt. I can't remember if I said this in the first half that I shot yesterday. But if you're interested in seeing the entire board set laid out, you can go back a couple videos in the YouTube stream and see it there and get a sense of how these components all fit together to make a complete table set. So keep your eye on the channel. I'll be back with another video real soon, and questions and comments always welcome, of course, down below, and I'll be back very shortly.